Here's Johnny. Thank you. Hello, hey, hi, social media family. Been up any subscribers and or any visitors to that being on my own YouTube social media channel. And or likewise, what I was saying, chat room or comment section. I get to charge up my digital watch hooked up with my cell phone. I know it's good battery. But then how are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. If not better yet to be said, to be feeling all right. Or doing so as well. That's one. Well, hopefully everyone is doing okay and feeling okay for that matter is what I meant to say. And hopefully, likewise, or as well, to be. I can't even get my words here. Sorry about that. I was momentarily interrupted by one of these here dickhead prick neighbors from damn hell. Being up not just the worst, but the worstest. Kind of sort of type. Being the nigger persuasion or nigger persuasion, let me phrase that, black persuasion, as I'm living in one of not just the worst but in one of the worstest neighborhood communities for a vicinity within city limits, and being one of the less preferred ones, being which is more poverty stricken and more crime ridden. And as it is, to compliment that being a predominantly economic one. But anyway, though, let me backtrack here. Perfectly being in order, so I can go on to following to continue from where and when that my person had last left off, so I can finish up as incomplete form more previous prayer lines, all in the same as well, or to start over from the very beginning. Hello, hey, hi everybody, social media family, being any subscribers as well as any visitors to that been in my own YouTube social media channel. Likewise, as well, all the same chat room conversation. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing and feeling at least okay. If not, better yet to be said, to be doing and feeling all right. Or if not, best of all, to be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, or too blessed to possibly become or be stressed, you and yours, your family, friends, and hopefully me and mine likewise as well, are all the same. And please do excuse, pardon, forgive me for butchering the English language as we have it, being as it is, or the American dialect with some such qualities and quantities of it, with all of its grammatical usages. But then I never claimed to have become or be an English major, and therefore, how much less have I ever claimed to have become or be an English professor? And moving right along. Then I apologize. Yes, I'm sorry for it taking me much longer once again to try to, get this here present social media, that is, get another social media broadcast or video up and running. So far as composing that of the, like I said, so far as taking care of the necessary business at hand, to compose the preliminaries, being the basic intro as an introduction, and or the footnotes to accompany that being the same to say it in question of the former previous prime mention. But then blame it on these neighbors, then, because they are the ones that fault more than me, believe it or not. They are the ones who are responsible for this mishap, yes, they are at fault. You know, and especially if they are once again for the umpteen consecutive time pumping some of such of what would be considered as knockout gas into my pad of a place of residence of an apartment to attempt to render me unconscious for God only knows what reason. And these neighbors are some real ugly, evil ones, you know, with their ungodly, godless, devilish, demonic, demon possessed selves, you know, being of the likes of the much more scandalous and or notorious the rank and file of the social rejects of riff-raffs, of usual suspects, and public enemy number ones, you know, being as they are the criminal elements of any given society, country, or nation, you know. And like the sadistic, monstrous nigger bitch or nigger hole that had harmed or hurt to and murdered or killed the stray animal, being one of the creatures of lesser species of the animal kingdom, one of the fine felines as we have it of cats, you know. And for the last mention, being of which only complements the name title and basic intro and footnotes and content of the present social media broadcast and our video. And I'll try to refrain from, you know, expressing myself with explicit profanity, qualities and quantities, or cuss words to simply say as much as I had done or did before, though some of it come out now for this present social media broadcast or video. You know. And now that I've gotten the preliminaries out the way, let me just get to this here. Dive into the subject matter, topic of discussion, conversation and dialogue, or giving an argument with many different views and opinions to be possibly affiliated, associated with, and representing thereof. Now, I had informed your persons last how this same neighbor from down here, or a particular one, had, you know, come off like a cowardly bully and terrorist wannabe against a dumb animal, being of which I had become quite fond of, whereas I was one of the few neighbors that would think to feed it, you know, as the stray cat was upon and within these premises, properties of a facility as we have a residential building within this neighborhood community, you know, for the inner courtyard. And she took it upon herself to show how much she's an overgrown baby girl of a brain dead, brainless, bonehead, butthead, cave woman character of the black persuasion for one of these really funky and foul neighborhood communities, you know. And whereas I had noticed one day or night or whatever I said that the stray cat wasn't feeling his usual self. I'm like, what's wrong, boy, or what's wrong, girl? Depending on whichever one's gender is. I can't even begin to tell and really look. You know. So I'm like, what's wrong? And then whereas before then, the cat would run to me to get fed, as well as to what few neighbors that would feed it. This time it wouldn't run. It would stay where it was at. So I had to, you know, bring that much more the food to it. And that much more bring food to this cat. you know, and then I'm picking it up, and whereas I'm trying to get a benefit of the doubt, but with all things considered, you know, whereas I wanted to think that maybe the cat got injured because I was suspecting that it was injured. I wanted to think that the cat got injured via that means of having gotten into a cat fight with another cat of another associated with and representing the fine feline. You know, the lesser species of creatures being of the animal kingdom. Or worse yet, I was willing to, you know, let the thought come to mind that could be considered of another alternative option, that maybe members of the rodent community, and not like Mickey and Minnie Mouse or any mices or mouses, but possibly a rat or a few of them for that matter could have, you know, brutally, viciously, or violently assaulted or attacked this stray cat, you know, in a physical way. But then, nevertheless, that wasn't the case in this situation either. Whereas from there, my worstest fears that come to mind, you know, to complement a worst case scenario, that a grown adult human had just ever so much had brutalized this stray cat of a dumb animal, had brutally or viciously and or violently physically assaulted or attacked it. And sure enough, that was the case in our situation. Okay, because one day or night I'm picking up the cat, and I noticed there's a big old dried up blood blotch on the outside of his mouth of his own blood. And then the following day or night, whereas before then it was dried up, now it's moist, like somebody has assaulted or attacked the cat again. And from there, after the cat had become subject to experiencing that inflicted pain of physical trauma upon itself, it would not eat for the next couple or few days and or nights. And then shortly after, the cat had died. I'm like, what? It was eating and drinking before somebody had sort of attacked it, you know, this other neighbor in the most violent physical kind of way. Then after it was injured by the same stupid and sick nigger neighbor from damn hell, bitch or hoe. The cat, like I said, you know, stay for the record before, so I say and stay for the record again. Whereas the cat, the stray cat, would not eat or drink anything for the next couple or few following days and or nights. And then it died, you know. So this is the neighborhood that I'm living in, you know, with certain grown adult persons or certain grown-ups who are only, I say and I'll stay for record, who are only grown or who have only matured in the mere physical sense of the word, you know, whereas they're really just so many overgrown baby boys and baby girls, you know, brain dead, brainless, stuck on stupid, bonehead, butthead, caveman, and cavewoman bastards and bitches, and not just of blacks and Hispanics or niggers and wetbacks, but poor white trash around here as well for this nigger neighborhood. This black for this nigger neighborhood, or for the black neighborhood, to put it like that, you know. And whereas these black neighbors are worse than These black neighbors from damn hell are not that all the black neighbors here are like the neighbors from damn hell, but these black neighbors from damn hell among the neighbors, being of whom I have as a present given time, are worse than the last black neighbors from damn hell, being of whom I myself have had to be bothered with or become subjected to experiencing their 2 cent power plays. They're worse at being because they like to creep that much more. They like to make more like spooks to sit by the door compared to the last neighbors from damn hell, being of the life that I have had to become or be subjected to experiencing or be bothered with their nonsense of 2 cent power plays. Were more like rowdy and more like, midnight cowboys compared to these here ones being more creepy and more likely, more often than not, or to be considered as being more like spooks to sit by the door, creeping. Even before I had began this broadcast, one of them had to make oneself known. They like to change up with their 2 cent power plays. Also, like my last neighbors from down here, but they are more creepy, these present neighbors from down here, or as I was saying, the state for the record. So, as I'm about to begin the broadcast, somebody felt the need to borrow my apartment door. That's just how petty these niggers or niggers, neighbors from damn hell are, or the likes of riff-raff, like they're thirsty or hungry for money, and they rob you blind, Be attempted to trespass. Imagine that. Be attempted to trespass my premises, properties, or place of residence apartment, even while I'm here. Not to mention when I'm gone elsewhere from the building to try to take care of some business at hand before I would have returned to this hole in the wall. This damn hellhole. So after the death of the cat, one of these black neighbors from damn hell had murdered or killed, as I was telling you about this one black sister woman, sister mine. That's just a name that they give those being black female persons. The name of sister, like brothers given to black male persons. I guess then because they don't know who their fathers and mothers are, then because a great majority or most of the black adults or black grown-ups are so busy bed hopping, forsaking their responsible, obligated duties to the children to behave like responsible adults or grown-ups and be those parental figures that would be the real life version of the Cosby television comedy episodes of a progressive black family, so busy bed hopping and the black females, a black woman are producing babies a million a minute, practically, if not possibly, and likewise aborting babies a million a minute, practically, if not possibly, and then there are more absentee fathers among black males than there are among other races of males when it comes to family, household, or families and something. So I guess that's why blacks call themselves brothers and sisters, because they don't know who the actual brothers and sisters are, for that matter, not to mention the actual fathers and mothers or parents. Then because the black grown-ups, men and women, are so busy bed hopping, whereas the black women are producing practically, if not possibly, a million black babies a minute, and could practically not possibly be aborting a million black babies a minute. And the black men are more likely to become absentee fathers within the different black family households or black families more than any other races of absentee fathers for family households or families. So anyway, though, she getting back to the original subject matter or topic of discussion, or that being of a given argument to be debated with the many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, and representing thereof. And so she gives the lame, bogus excuse that, you know, the cat come up hurting. She herself would hurt it again if that cat would have assault or attack her cat of a pet. I'm like saying, that is so ridiculous. You know, why don't you just let the two, I'm thinking in my head, why don't you just let the two cats fight it out? If it were two cats going at each other before you got involved, you're just a coward and a bully. You know? Not to mention terrorists likewise, you know. Not to mention you cold-blooded, you ugly and evil to attack a dumb animal. That's like a grown adult person harming or hurting and then murdering or killing an infant or a baby or a senior citizen of an elderly person. That was cold-blooded. You know, and I have got to save up some money and get the damn hell out this, get up out of this black neighborhood, a predominantly black neighborhood of a poverty-stricken and crime-ridden one, because these neighbors are the kind of neighbors you wouldn't want to associate yourself with, especially if you got the likes of El Stupidos or ignoramuses, imbeciles, or idiots, and or sickles among them, like the black sister woman that had harmed or hurted a dumb animal, being of a creature of the lesser species of the animal kingdom. Then shortly after, like a few days or nights after, 2 or 3 days or nights after, the cat died, then because it would not eat anything or drink anything for that matter, after it had sustained its injuries coming from this black fool, overgrown, cowardly, bullying, or terrorist wannabe of a black woman, you know, having done, or as she did herself, do horrific, violent things to this cat of a dumb animal in a physical way. Yeah. And so therefore, a person like that could never mature as an adult individual person. And if they have any babies, God forbid, hopefully a woman like that will somehow get her tubes tied, even if it were to be mandated by the state to have it be gone about like so that she won't produce any siblings or the likes of her to just grow up to become and be stuck on stupid, to be brain dead and brainless, to only have matured in a mere physical sense of the word as the years go by. You hear what I'm saying? Because if you have these violent tendencies, you know, to assault or attack a dumb animal in a physically violent kind of way, where you may as well have assault or attack an infant or a baby or a senior citizen of an elderly person in that same line of thought, you know, since a word like so, then hopefully a woman like that would have her tubes tied. Or hopefully she will be put down herself before she could possibly, brutally, viciously, or violently, physically assault or attack anybody else for that matter. Be the focus of her attention, or the target of prey, would be another human being for that matter, let alone a dumb animal. I mean, just think about it, you all. Where do we get these people? I mean, who's going to stand up and protect the infants or babies and senior citizens, of elderly persons, and dumb animals? How many of us are going to stand up that much more to protect them, huh? Who will? Who's going to stand up and do so? That how many more? Is there another? Then I tell you, I will. I will. I will. Bum, 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 bum. Can you see this S on my chest? Bum, 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 bum. We must learn to be courageous. Bum, 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 bum. How many more will stand up for the infants or babies and senior citizens, of elderly persons and dumb animals if you suspect that they are being misused and abused? I will. So beware, you abusers. Bum, 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 bum. I will drop a dime on you, to the popo, to the boys in blue, to police officers and detectives. And hopefully, better yet, you will be caught red-handed, so that there will be that much more concrete criminal evidence against you to put you away. And so that judge, jury, and prosecutor can put you away and throw away the key. Yes, who will stand up for the infants or babies and senior citizens or elderly persons and dumb animals? I will. Boom, boom. Can't you see this S on my chest? Like S for Savior and salvation, and sanctuary. Will real men and women stand up and be counted? Real men and women of whatever races and whatever walks of life, factions of society, or lifestyle preferences of both of the two sexual genders. If you see any babies or children, if you see any infants or babies or children and senior citizens or elderly persons and dumb animals being misused and or abused by overgrown cowardly bullies and terrorist wannabes, adults or grown-ups, will you stand up? Will you stand up and be counted and join the rest of us to protect the infants or the babies and senior citizens or elderly persons and dumb animals, and come running to their rescue? Hey, you there, leave that child alone. Hey, you there, leave that elderly person alone. Hey, you there, leave that dumb animal alone. And be ready to make a citizen's arrest and then have the police make the official arrest. So that's what I have had to talk about, you all, or discuss these matters for the present given moment time, because it broke my heart to have to consider the fact that this stray animal, a cat, is dead at the hands of a brain dead, brainless ignoramus, imbecile, idiot, and a sicko of an overgrown, cowardly bully and a terrorist wannabe black woman. But then on this last note of interest, I would like to say, as you all know, I will open up a broadcast for social media content of a video with the preliminaries being of the basic intro, and then the intro as an introduction, then the footnotes, and then I will speak upon a subject matter or topic of discussion or give an argument and speak my mind. And speaking upon a given argument with many different views and opinions to be possibly associated with and representing thereof. And then last but not least, I will share with you all the gospel message, And depending on whether I'm using that of a public free Wi-Fi at a library or for a mall, or using my own personal Wi-Fi, it would from there determine, how long I could possibly broadcast and how many subject matters or topic discussions or given arguments I could debate with the many different views and opinions thereof. But then in closing, I say, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, now I hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your vein by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary and Hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some sort of Roman soldiers upon the orders of their superiors, religious, political, militaristic, and otherwise. But then, nevertheless, whereas he went to that cross of Calvary, to become the perfect sacrifice. The only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So if any of us, regardless of whatever races and whatever walks of life, fashion of society, lifestyle preferences, old, young alike, of both the two sexual genders, the males and females, representing not only that being the human, that or those among ourselves, of the human species, but of the global community within this post 911 era of new millennium apocalyptic day and age, and supposed so-called post global pandemic time frame period of this apocalyptic time, where the doomsday clock is now at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic time. Whereas if anyone were to profess some of such faith in him, from there we will become and be blessed in one regard or another, in more ways than one. First and foremost, with this salvation, being which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly become citizens of the kingdom of heaven. And second of all, with his deliverance. But first you have got to get his salvation, otherwise you have nothing coming, so far as blessings is concerned. And therefore, if you leave this world as you make that transition for the great beyond of the hereafter or the afterlife, and you don't have the only fire insurance against the lake of fire damn hell, then guess where you will end up? Here with the rest of the unsaved, lost down human souls of unbelievers or non-believers who had rejected so great salvation, whereas you would not be able to share in the blessings bestowed upon us as we will be among the saved. You all take care and be safe. Yeah, peace.